Hi, this is Jovanka from the 4-Week Detox Program. And today I have a very special guest with me. This is my friend and client, Jason. And Jason has gracefully agreed to come and talk to us and ask questions that he had as part of his project, his wellness project, but also things that chances are you may have thought of at one point or another. So I wanted you to hear them directly from Jason. So once again, Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks.
So what's your question?
So one of my first questions, I talk a lot about with my cousin about how just because you're having a salad for lunch doesn't mean it's healthy. And I know that when I go out for a salad, there's all these options. Some of them are probably healthy and some of them are probably really not healthy for me. So I was just going to give you an idea of what I've been getting for a salad, and then wondering if you could tell me what's healthy, what's not healthy, how I can make it more nutritious and so forth. I usually go for a spinach romaine base. I like to put grilled chicken in, goat cheese, carrots, cucumbers, red onion, and the dressing that I usually go for is a Russian dressing.
Okay. So that salad is not terrible. It's probably a little high in saturated fat. My first suggestion would be to drop the bottle dressing. There is a lot of stuff in those dressings. Gluten, excess fat, high fructose corn syrup, things that you don't need. And there's a lot of options that you can do at home. Simple vinaigrettes. If you don't know how to make a vinaigrette, you can just simply do something that will be really beneficial to you and will add flavor to the salad or to your dressing. Simple things like making a mixture of oil and apple cider vinegar and maybe put a couple of raw onion rings, maybe a couple of garlic cloves and some spices like parsley or cilantro, and just leave that there overnight. And the oil and the vinegar will like suck up all of the flavors of all of the spices that you put in there, and it will not only make it heartier and more flavorful, but it will also make it a lot healthier. So that would be my first recommendation. And then if you can, I would get rid of the cheese because you have a lot of protein in that salad already. And so the idea is for the salad to be easy to digest, to be, refreshing to your system, to be alkalizing to your body. And so too much protein and too much fat in there could be detrimental, it's counterproductive.
You said reduce the cheese, so I have to be forthcoming with you and actually tell you that I consider cheese to actually be one of my favorite foods. I love cheddar, I love mozzarella, I love goat cheese, Gruyere. Any type of cheese with the exception of blue cheese, if it's being offered, I'm going to be tempted to get it.
Yeah.
I think I eat a lot of cheese. I have pizza once or twice a week, but I also have cheese on macaroni. If I have a sandwich, I'll sometimes put cheese on it. I put cheese in my salads.
Right.
I'm probably eating too much cheese, but I don't know what's a reasonable amount of cheese to consume in a week. So.
Right. Well, cheese is one of those things that is a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. And the reality of the matter is that it's delicious, and it is, your brain will crave it because it's mostly fat and salt. And if you eat a little bit of it, you'll get a flavor of it, and then you want more. Cheese is also, because it's a dairy product, is acidic to the body, and it causes inflammation. And we all know by now that inflammation it's many doctors and scientists out there consider inflammation to be the cause of many of the diseases that are plaguing us in the Western world today. In addition, most cheese, because it comes from milk, it also has a lot of the problems that come from having dairy products, hormones, antibiotics, and things like that. So how much cheese should you eat? That all depends. Based on what I told you, I would literally try to limit the amount of cheese as much as you can. I realize that it's something that people love. If you love it, I understand also that life is short and you shouldn't, give away your guilty pleasures altogether. So my recommendation will be to start by eating cheese only once a day.
Okay.
Start ideally at the end of the day, because it's acidic and because it causes inflammation. You want your body to have some time to get rid of it. And it allows you to have something to look forward to. At the end of the day, And when you eat it, just enjoy it. Don't just like gulp it because you've been like deprived of it. On the contrary, make it an experience, a positive one, and take your time with it, just like as if it was the last time you were to eat cheese, and bite it and enjoy that. And try that for a few days, and if you can, hopefully you can then go down a little bit and limit it to hopefully once or twice a week. But ideally you want to eat cheese no more than once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week.
I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, no, once or twice a week is going to be, it's going to take, it's going to take a while
but it's
to
gradual.
get there.
Just take it little by little, maybe once a day for a few days, a few weeks, see how you feel about it. Maybe try it every other day.
Is there a cheese that's, I know that all cheese has fat and everything, but is there a cheese that's less unhealthy than some of the other cheeses?
I would, in my experience and based on what I've seen from other people, I would say that goat cheese tends to be a little bit better, or a little less harmful, because it's not mass produced as other types of cow-based cheese. It's not, doesn't have as many of the bad stuff in it.
Well, that's good, because that's one of my favorites.
Good. I'm glad.
Along with pepper jack. All right. So moving away from diet, I'm finding, especially as I'm getting older, getting to sleep can be very challenging for me. And for a while, when it hit a certain time at night and I wasn't falling asleep, I would take a sleep aid like Advil PM. I haven't tried, NyQuil, ZZZ or anything. I don't like sleep aids because the next morning, for really a prolonged amount of time, I'm still drowsy.
Right.
So I was wondering if there's any foods, drinks, something that I can take that's natural, that will put me to sleep, but then I'll wake up refreshed as opposed to drowsy.
Right. Well, that is a really important topic, and because there's roughly 70 million people in the United States alone that have some sort of issues with sleep disorder, and sleep is incredibly important. I mean, we cannot survive very long without, our quality of life will start to suffer if we don't have quality sleep. In fact, a few weeks ago, I had a blog specifically about that, and I gave a lot of tips about how to improve the quality of your sleep. If you want to know a little bit more about that, just Google my name, Jovanka Ciares, and sleep, and you will find it. It'll probably be the first thing that shows up on Google, and you'll find it, and I'll give a very wide array of advice about this topic. But since you asked the question here, I want to give you a couple of things that you can do today. The first thing that I would do, which I do every day and it works wonders for me, is to take a hot shower at night. Most people shower in the morning, but showering at night, especially when the water is warmer, it cools your body, lowers your body temperature, and it tells your brain and your hormones that it's time to go to sleep. It's what happens at nighttime when your body temperature lowers and your body goes into it starts believing and understanding that it's time to rest. It also relaxes the muscles, so it's actually really good to just have a shower, feel clean and whatnot, and then go off to sleep. Another thing that I do regularly is take a magnesium supplement. Magnesium is a natural mineral that we all need, and most of us are a little deficient in that. And magnesium, it's also very well known to relax nerves and calm the brain, it calms the muscles, etc. Just take it with your last meal of the day. Hopefully that last meal, and that's another piece of advice, that last meal should be 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. And it shouldn't be too heavy, because those heavy meals, the digestion process takes a lot of energy out of your body. And when you're your body is in overdrive if you have a big meal and then you're trying to calm everything down to go to sleep. So make sure that you have a meal 3 or 4 hours before you go to sleep, and that meal is actually light, it's alkalizing, it's healthy, and it's nourishing.
What about, I think I've heard like melatonin or some...
Melatonin is a naturally occurring hormone, and your body should be producing that as the sun goes down. If you cannot, if you feel like you need it, you should try it. I would probably try it only a couple of days. Okay. And if you don't get any benefits from it, then I would definitely check with your local doctor to see if you may have some kind of hormonal imbalance. Because those hormones should kick in if your diet is clear and if you're doing other stuff like, turning the lights off. not watching TV at 11 o'clock at night when you're
Right.
supposed to be calming down and things like that.
And so I guess my final question, and I did read your ebook, and I know your feelings on coffee, but I have to, it's just one of those things that I'm going to be stubborn in, and I have to have coffee every day. I usually only have 1 cup of coffee. So my question is about sweetener, because there's a lot of noise out there about, well, you shouldn't have sugar because then it opens, your blood to take in fat more, but you shouldn't have sweet and low because it causes cancer, and you shouldn't have Splenda. What's the truth about sweetener? What should I be putting into my coffee to sweeten it?
Well, so you know my views on coffee.
Yes.
Also acidic. So if you want to have coffee, you need to try to limit it to 1 cup a day. Ideally, no more than 4 or 5 ounces of coffee. With regards to sugar, sugar is not a nutrient. It is what we have outside right now. Table sugar, artificial sweeteners, are not things that your body needs for nourishment. If I give you a plastic apple and I ask you to eat it, would you eat it?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, because it's artificial, it's man-made. So
Right.
there should be no reason for you to be eating anything that says artificial.
Right.
If you need to sweeten your coffee, I would do maple syrup, maybe a little bit of honey, and that's about it.
What about the liquid sugar that they offer? Is that artificial
I
as
mean,
well?
table sugar is refined sugar. Your body, there's a lot of scientists and doctors out there that believe that sugar, especially fructose in its refined form, is considered toxic. So you should stay away from everything that's toxic and everything that's artificial. That you wouldn't put anything in your body that you know for a fact is artificial, is fake. Don't put any other stuff other than what's natural.
And cutting sugar is the first step to toning up and
Well,
losing.
cutting sugar, I mean, sugars will happen as part of the digestive process.
Right.
You know, when you have an apple, a real apple,
It's got sugar.
It's got sugar in
Right.
it, but it also has fiber. So your body knows what to do with all of that. It turns all of that into glycogen, into energy, into the stuff that your body needs to live, to function. But you don't need anything extra after that. And in this country and in the Western world, we eat way too much of that. And it's causing us to fall apart. I mean, the statistics don't lie. The rates of heart disease, diabetes, and other diseases that are directly related to our diet and lifestyle, especially our consumption of sugar.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
I definitely learned stuff. I'm a day shower, so I'm going to try
Yes.
showering at night and
Yes.
certainly work on the cheese consumption.
Absolutely. Just give some of these tips a try.
Yeah.
And feel free to let me know how that goes. And for you as well, feel free to check some of those tips and leave a comment below. If you have additional questions about this or similar questions like the ones that Jason brought on today, feel free to leave them below and share this video with all of your friends all over the internet. And for more great tips on how to live a healthy, happy, and beautiful life, sign up for my weekly newsletter at jovankaciares.com. See you soon. Thank you. Yay!